What your interaction with Tracy Smothers overall? He's always pretty well praised across wrestling world as being a really nice guy and somebody that is helpful. To your point, what was your interaction with him?
I love Tracy, man. I had so much fun with him. I wrestled him first in probably like 94 ish. This would have been barefoot RVD in the singlet that wasn't airbrushed.
Just the red one or whatever it was. I saw the red
Yep,
one.
yep, the red one and the black one, and after like I wrestled him a few times at some small shows in Georgia and Carolinas, some fairs or whatever, and right off the bat, he cracked me up. He's always since the first time I wrestled him said, "Man, I've been in harder street fights. No, easier street fights. I fucked the lineup." And then he also says, "Man, you took me within an inch of my life." That was like something that every time I would see him, and we would always just say, "You changed, man. You changed." For decades, that was always still funny to say, "You changed. You took me within an inch of my life." I've been in easier street fights, or I've been kicked. Um, I've been kicked. I don't know. I don't know. He was very funny. One time, and he was a country boy. I got something I
Yeah.
want to share with you, but let me spit this out. One time, we're in the ECW arena in Philly before a show, and he reaches down, pulls his pant leg up, and reaches down into his sock, and he pulls out a wad of tinfoil, which he opens up, and there's half a chicken sandwich in that.
What?
His first thought is to offer it, hey, anybody want half a chicken sandwich? Rob, you want this? I was like, no, fuck that. He's like,
Oh,
I didn't buy it off this half, and it's been wrapped up. I just put it there to keep it, Yeah,
oh my god. Uh,
yeah.
that kind of brings me to Bobby Eaton real quick because I heard always about Bobby Eaton. He would bring like towels or like be like super accommodating to other wrestlers and stuff like that. Did you cross paths with Bobby and like have those kind of interactions at all or no?
I did it, man. I was around him very little when I was in WCW in '92 and '93, and I was just so young and so green that my perspective of the whole world wasn't on a scale for anything to stick out. But what's interesting is I think I worked him, but I've never seen the match. But I think I remember going over the match with him and stuff. And I think I remember the difference because Rip Rogers had told me, you don't do all that flips and kicks and all that. Just save it for the end. Do one kick at the end and make it mean something. And I remember I was like, man, I was bummed. And I asked Bobby Eaton, and Bobby Eaton had the opposite. He was like, if you can do it, do it. That's your gimmick, right? That's what people want to see. And I was like, thank you. And but it might, I don't know if I worked with him or if I put that in my head after that conversation because I remember working with Rip and it would have been around that same time. But yeah, but Tracy Smothers, he used to, according to him anyway, he grew up on farms, and he said that they would fight, they would have fights between between the fighters at the different farms to settle disputes over shit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was like old
Like
school
fucking dual
old
shit.
school Southern boy. It's like old school Southern boys wrestling court.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. And he would describe it. He told us some stories. And one time, he told us this was about it was about New Jack. A lot of people don't know this story, but at one time, New Jack he was particularly mouthy and insulting. Yeah, Brian Pillman, who had just died, he said some really ugly stuff, and we were just talking about him, like, man, I don't know, that's hard to stand by and hear him say, the stuff that he's saying and stuff. And Tracy was like, what we need to do, man, we need to get him just put him in a room, and, and about 8 of us just whip the shit out of him, man. He'll change. He'll never be the same, man. And he said that that's what they used to do when he was growing up. He said if somebody had a problem, he was like, "He ain't gonna fight everybody. You ain't gonna. No one's that bad. You know, you just fucking everyone beat the shit out of him, and afterwards, watch, man. That'll fix it, man. You watch." And he was really suggesting that as an option of something that we should do is in our wrestlers' court trial of solving problems. You know.
Rob, you just made me love Tracy Smothers a whole lot more. It's just like
Yeah, he was awesome.